Hello, my name's Professor Jeremy Pritchard. I'm a researcher and academic at the University of Birmingham. My research focuses on climate change and the way that plants respond to that climate change. Climate change, as you might know, is caused by global warming and is impacting on plants, their ability to get sugars in photosynthesis. And so we're looking at the way that water moves from the roots of the plants up the trunk in the xylem and out of the leaves, and how climate change, storms, droughts, changes in temperature, and the elevated CO2 itself will affect those processes. So my research is based in a forest an hour north of Birmingham called the Birmingham Institute of Forestry Research. And in this experiment, we're pumping carbon dioxide, the gas that plants use to make sugars in photosynthesis, into the forest to see what these plants will react like in the future. The amount of carbon dioxide we're putting in is around what we would expect to see in 50 years' time. So these trees are telling us a story from the future so that we can be ready to help these trees, to protect these trees, or see if these trees will help us by storing more of that carbon dioxide and helping us protect the climate in the future. We look at the way water moves up the xylem, the tubes, the cells that carry the water from the roots to the leaves, and we look at how the climate and the weather affects the rate of that transport and therefore how much water is available for plants to grow. As a teacher or an academic, a typical day for me is quite variable. So I might start looking at papers and reading other people's research. I might be talking to my students about their research or giving lectures and lessons to them about climate change and how plants grow. I might also be talking to the researchers about their data, their science, the information they've found out. And I might also be going to the forest itself, showing school children around, showing students around, showing foresters around to explain to them how our experiment might help them in their studies or in their forward look as foresters protecting their own forests. I think the most unexpected and exciting things that have happened to me in my work have been the variety of things that I've done through my career. I started out looking at how roots grow in soil, and then I started looking at how the sugars get to those roots to help them grow, to feed them. And then I started looking at how the water in the xylem got from the roots to the leaves. And that was really exciting, using insects that feed in the xylem to help examine the contents of that really important conducting cell. And now, of course, I work on the whole ecosystem, all the different bits of the forest and the organisms and bacteria and animals and plants that live there and depend on each other. And so moving from just studying a single cell to studying the whole ecology of a whole forest is perhaps the most unexpected thing, but also the most exciting thing that's happened to me. To be an academic and to do research in these areas, you really need to get your A-levels. You probably need to do a degree at university. And then you usually need a higher qualification, such as a PhD in research, to really get you the skills and the knowledge to be able to do that research, to study organisms and get data and draw conclusions from them and tell people about them. My advice for the biologists of the future is to really get your knowledge of biology really good, but then to look at working with other people to help you define the solutions, to help you come up with the solutions. You need a sound biology knowledge, but you need a lot of other expertise in what we call interdisciplinary science, people working together with chemists, physicists, engineers, social scientists, people in the humanities, communicators and so on. So there is a role for everybody in studying climate change and the effects of climate change, even if it's not just simply looking at Xylem vessels.